Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a special reading for the 1111 portal. So, as always, this is a general collective reading. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I'm super psyched that I have time to pull on this. This is awesome. I'm like really happy to get into this energy. God, what do you want this collective to know? The 1111 portal. And the Four of Swords. It says restoration at the bottom. I love this deck. The colors are so beautiful, and it's fun that it has like the little keywords. I'm actually getting a similar energy for that as for the Hanged Man, which is often the card that I get when I'm feeling the energy of like the universe putting someone into a timeout. So this feels like not quite to that degree because it's a minor arcana rather than a major arcana card, but I'm definitely feeling that sort of timeout, take a break, take a rest kind of vibe from that. The Page of Cups, I think it says ambitions. That's interesting. That's not really a vibe that I get from the Page of Cups card. That's interesting. I'm getting a vibe from that one around emotional exploration. So the pages are kind of the children, I guess, of the oh my goodness, I can't word right now. That's really weird, actually. I don't know if that will resonate for anybody, but maybe some difficulties with communication or not being able to think of words. I just like completely lost my words. The pages are like the young people of the court cards. And they often are like, you know, very innocent, very open-minded. They're kind of like the explorers of each of their suits. So I'm feeling that as an energy of exploring the emotions. Ambitions, that's really interesting to me. It's just not a vibe that I get from that at all. So I'm going to go with my read of it instead of the word that's on there. Hang on, we're going to do this. As I was shuffling, it's really funny. Sometimes the cards just fly out and sometimes they actually flip over in the deck. And I haven't figured out energetically like the difference between those. I don't know that there is one, but it's not a flying out day. It's like a flipping in. It almost makes me feel like when they're flying out, I think I get the energy that like the universe really has a message. It's sort of like slinging messages everywhere. When they're flipping into the deck, it almost feels like the energy turning inward on itself. It's an interesting vibe in this row. So the Eight of Wands here says action. That's my card that often represents like forward movement or communication. And it's like really fast and directed and focused. These three cards here are really like a sad kind of, I'm feeling an energy here of like regret and sadness and like a lot of upset. I don't know that I have a better word for it other than just like general upset, maybe some anxiety. There's definitely that sadness and regret, like I said. So we have the Five of Coins. The word here says repression. The Five of Wands says opposition. And the Three of Swords says division. The Five of Coins in the traditional tarot is my card of kind of being left out in the cold, but like you're doing it to yourself. So that's the card where there's like it looks to me like a mother and a child, but it could just be like a big human and a small human, right? And they're outside a church and the church is like all lit up and beautiful. And they're like walking in the snow with tattered clothes and no shoes on. And they're like, you know, feet away from being able to just go knock on the church door, and they won't just do it. The Five of Wands I usually get as that kind of ego clashing energy. So whether that's within you or with a partner, as I was just saying that, I heard the words, it's within you. So this feels to me like a place where like you're kind of fighting yourself and leaving yourself out in the cold. And then this Three of Swords is that energy of just like agony and heartbreak. And I feel like all together, these three cards feel to me like self-sabotage. That's kind of how I would overall describe that energy. There's like some upset, some sort of turbulent, like tumultuous, upset energy inside of you where you're just like all clashy and clangy, and it's got like gosh, I don't know how to say this. I keep doing this with my hands to show it. The energy here is vibrating almost like with spikes. Like I'm seeing lines like these kind of spiky mountain lines, but it's like all 3D and like making this big weird spiky vibrating energy. It's like I don't know how to put the words to how I feel that, but it feels spiky and upset and like kind of hot. It really feels like a self-sabotage energy. I'm feeling like this 8 of Wands though, even before I was describing this, trying to find the words for this, I feel and I'm hearing the words like piercing. Like these 8 of Wands, I'm picturing more in the traditional tarot where they're sort of flying across the sky, right? And I feel like they're piercing like right into this energy. So I don't know if there's going to be something happening or something coming up for you that kind of like pierces you right into this self-sabotage energy where like you kind of have to confront this. I feel like maybe this has been going on under the surface, or like it's been stressing you out and you're kind of just like, I don't want to deal with that. But I feel like something's coming that's very directed and focused, bam, and it's like bringing you right into the heart of that energy to the place where like you can't avoid it because now it's got 8 wands like pierced into it, right? And kind of like sticking out of it. It feels like satisfying in a way because I think it brings this to light. It kind of turns this energy into a big flat target, right? And then these 8 wands are piercing into that target. And it's like, at that point, it becomes crystal clear to you, almost like an Ace of Swords energy. It becomes crystal clear and you like understand what this energy is. And you're in a position where like you can't ignore it anymore. And I think because you have that clarity and understanding of it, probably you don't want to avoid it or ignore it anymore because now you kind of get it. That's really interesting. I feel like with these energies up here, especially with that Page of Cups is relating to these 3 for me, because I was saying I'm reading that as like an emotional explorer. She's feeling to me like she's exploring emotions, and I feel like that's you. And the fact that she's a page, that maybe this is an emotional area within you, a dynamic kind of within your consciousness that you haven't really explored yet. So maybe feeling like that childlike energy, that curiosity, that uncertainty, right? Like you're kind of an apprentice. You don't really know how to deal with this, but that you're like willing and open to exploring it. And I feel like that's the most important thing. It's feeling to me like I said, this energy kind of turning into a target, and even just recognizing it and gaining that clarity, I feel like is a huge piece of the healing here. Like there might not even be much more for you to do besides just gaining that clarity and saying, oh, that's this, like that's this pattern. This is how I'm sabotaging myself here. Kind of really getting clear with yourself and being honest with yourself. The 7 of Wands and the Fool here, it's interesting. So the 7 of Wands says stamina and the Fool says freedom or innocence. I love her. She's like so beautiful. This whole deck is gorgeous. I love the colors on this. The 7 of Wands for me is feeling like that defensive energy. Like in the traditional tarot, it's the guy kind of standing on the hill and he's got his wand, but then the folks around the hill are sort of like trying to get them with their wands, but he's got the upper hand. He's kind of above everybody else, right? He's got the high ground. That's the words I was looking for. He has the high ground. But he's kind of like defending himself. But the Fool to me, she is such a card of like new beginnings, of just taking a leap of faith, of having a completely open mind, basically like throwing yourself into the arms of the universe and just having a full expectation that the universe has your back and will catch you, right? I'm really hearing like leap of faith with this card. So it feels like this energy is that kind of spiky, like vibrating feeling that I was getting from that feels like a place where you would have been defensive. It's not a comfortable feeling energy, that self-sabotaging. It's been strong, but I feel like this Eight of Wands piercing into it, whatever the situation is that helps you gain clarity, right, on what this behavior pattern is for you. I feel like it's going to melt away those defenses. I'm feeling the Fool as just this free, like melting, soft energy. So taking that kind of toughness, that grit, that defensiveness of that Seven of Wands and just melting it away in like a really soft, beautiful way. It's like I said, I feel like once you gain that clarity and have that target, it's almost like just having the clarity is the healing here, right? Oh, that's my pattern. Oh, that's that thing that I've been doing. They're like, wow, I can see that I was self-sabotaging maybe by doubting, or I was listening to ego tell me that I'm not good enough or something like that, right? I feel like once you are able to see this pattern, it just melts away. I really have like this melting feeling. That's really cool. That Fool feels awesome. I feel like that sort of melting away of this pattern feels so good. And it feels really free and open and fresh. I feel like I'm channeling like a springtime vibe. It's funny because we got a bunch of snow here and then it was warm today and it melted a lot. And that's the energy that I'm getting from her, is like kind of coming out of this coldness and that spiky, like hot defensive energy, and just having it melt away. And then like the sun's there and it smells maybe like that fresh springtime smell. And like the sun feels warm on your skin, like that. It feels so beautiful. Just letting it melt away and letting it be easy. I think that's part of this energy too, especially with the Four of Swords being that sort of timeout energy. Like this is a place where you've really been kind of in fight mode, right? Kind of fighting with your own self, like a piece of yourself fighting with other pieces of yourself. But you don't have to fight anymore. You can just see the pattern for what it is and let it melt away. It feels really beautiful. I just heard like melting it into love. So just giving yourself lots of love and compassion there. Okay, that was like very chatty. I feel like we have the entire this side in that one shuffle. We have Three of Cups, 10 of Coins, and Page of Wands came out on the side. So the Three of Cups says gathering, the 10 of Coins says legacy, and the Page of Wands says energy. I like that. The Three of Cups, yeah, that feels like a lot of compassion and love for me. Like, look at those beautiful cups overflowing with light and love. That's gorgeous. I feel like this is the love that you deserve. Like how beautiful this card is, just pouring all of that love into this place in yourself where you've been self-sabotaging and kind of like battling yourself. I like to do like what I like to do. Sometimes I'll just lay down and put on like heart chakra meditation music, or I love like singing bowls. So I'll put on like a singing bowl track and I'll just lay down and put my hands on my heart and kind of give my heart like a snuggle that way, or like a little hug with my hands, and just pour like love and light into my heart in the space where I'm hurting. And I feel like if that resonates for you, that might be a nice practice for whoever's in this collective. Just to pour, I'm seeing like these cups pouring like this, like pouring all their love on all this place within you that's been like sad and hurt and feeling betrayed and being kind of like beat up by yourself. And that self-sabotaging energy of leaving yourself out in the cold for sure. The 10 of Coins is such a beautiful card to have here. So it says legacy. I love that word for this. It's that card of having actually created basically your heaven on earth, right? Where you have your family, you have your money, you have generational wealth. Could be like life purpose work, right? Where you're kind of doing the job that you feel you were put on this earth to do and being aligned with that. It's a beautiful energy. So I feel like that to me feels like kind of the promise of what can come as you're releasing this energy. I'm actually wondering if some of this self-sabotaging is blocking some of these blessings from coming in. So I feel like as you're healing this, as you're just taking these cups, right, and pouring that love and compassion and attention and forgiveness into all those places inside of yourself, that you're able to kind of call in love and call in like these blessings on this card. It's really beautiful. And then the Page of Wands, I feel like for me, I read her as kind of like the court card equivalent of the Fool, because she has that really open-minded, adventurous spirit, very similar to the Fool. But I love that she has this spark of fire. I feel like that's so beautiful, and it's really resonating for me that she even has that spark on her chest, kind of radiating out from her heart chakra. So it's really interesting because I was just talking about laying down and then visualizing, like pouring that love light into my heart. So again, I feel like if that resonated for anyone at all in this collective, that might be a helpful practice for you. But yeah, it's like clearing out this energy kind of helps you like reignite that spark and that light inside of yourself. I'm feeling like this is such an energy drain, this sort of self-fighting and that self-sabotaging and feeling like you're betraying yourself somewhere. To heal this and release it and clear it out gives you space to bring in that like spark, right? That spark of your light. It feels really beautiful. I feel like I'm seeing like this is like the energy reading for me of what's coming in for this portal, right? And I feel like I'm visualizing the portal like right here on my table. There's like this little this little gateway, and I'm seeing the energy of these cards like flying through the gateway. So I feel like if that resonates for you at all, this is an energy that I feel the portal is helping you to release. And the portal can kind of take that energy where it will just go into the universe, right? And transform. You don't have to worry about that. I feel like for me, God takes care of that. God, I like to visualize that this energy becomes like this golden, like in my imagination, God burns it. And then it turns into this like beautiful golden dust that just sort of like flies out into the universe and becomes stars. That's the visualization that I like to use. But yeah, like completely releasing this energy and kind of using the energy of the 1111 portal to help you transform this, to transmute it, completely releasing that and then bringing in the love, right? The compassion, your dreams come true, kind of the next step in your life, right? Of what is that? How are you going to build those dreams? And then that spark of creation, that's like really beautiful. Your passion, right? Getting your passion back. It doesn't feel like it matters. We have the 4 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. I'm loving all these cups. I felt like this energy, I don't know if this will resonate for anyone. It's, making me think of the pages. So we have 2 pages on the table and a Fool. And the Fool is an adult figure. It's not a child in the tarot, but there's like a childlike energy to the Fool with like that innocence and that open-mindedness, that curiosity. It's like an inquisitive energy. So I'm very much feeling like adopting those traits of your inner child around curiosity, open-mindedness, that sense of adventure, right? That inquisitive mind will support you with this. And also like the innocence is so beautiful. But I was going to say, as I was pouring this sort of on here, it made me think of a child pouring from like a little tea set if you're playing like Tea Party or something. So I don't know if that will randomly resonate for anybody, but that was actually like very delightful feeling for me to sort of pour this like beautiful pretend tea of like this love light sort of onto this energy and just like saturate it with this like beautiful love. Like I feel like with these being minor arcana cards, standing kind of against, quote, I guess, like the power of love, like these doubts and these patterns are no match for how powerful and beautiful this love and light is. It just felt, I don't know why I felt called to say that. That's just what I was seeing in my mind's eye when I was doing that. Okay. So the Four of Wands, this is huge. This feels like a significant love message to me, which is not what I was expecting, but it's actually interesting because the 1111 is considered like the twin flame number. I'd say 222 is probably the other one, but I think 1111 is kind of like the primary one or the most loved one. So whenever you see, like, I grew up saying when I would see 1111, I would always go make a wish. To me, that was like a wishing number. The Four of Wands, it says community, but man, the Four of Wands is so much more than that. So in the traditional tarot, this is the 1111 card, which is representative of twin flames, and especially being read in conjunction with the Two of Cups. These two together is a huge message, especially with it being the 1111 portal. I feel like I can't emphasize that enough. None of the rest of this feels particularly romance love related to me. This Three of Cups feels like your own love that you're giving to yourself in the places where you've been hurt. The Ten of Coins a bit, because that's part of it, right? Is having the marriage that lasts, for 50 years and creating like the family legacy together type of thing. But this is very different. This is like a profound love energy to me. And again, around twin flames, with this being the 1111 portal. So the Four of Wands in the traditional tarot is those wedding pillars. I forget how to pronounce this word. I think it's like a huppah, where it's like a Jewish wedding. I don't know what you call it. Kind of like an awning, right? That goes over the ceremony, and you kind of have the ceremony underneath it, but there's four pillars holding it up. And in the Rider-Waite tarot deck, there's like two on each side. So it kind of makes an 11 on this side and 11 on this side. The Four of Wands is a huge card of like joyful surprises, of wishes coming true, dreams coming true. That wedding, right? The partners coming together, being united in front of their community. So I think that's where that relates, kind of having your love being like supported and embraced by the community and having everybody celebrate that with you. I feel like the surprise energy here is like you're kind of minding your business, healing this thing that feels like it feels really clangy, and I don't know how to describe it except it feels like a spiky, vibrating energy to me. And I feel like you're just over here minding your business, healing this wound, healing this energy, releasing this energy, right? Give it to the portal and let the universe transmute it. And you just feel relieved. You just feel relieved that this energy, this toxic pattern, this behavior, this belief system is like finally out of your consciousness. And you're just the fool. You're just chilling. You just have like this peaceful, clear, open vibe. You're kind of ready and open. I'm really just feeling that openness. It's probably the biggest energy that I'm getting from that card. And it's like the universe responds to that openness that you have filled, right, with your own love and light here that you're channeling from God, the universe, source, your angels, your ancestors, your guides, whatever resonates for you, right? Taking that big love of the universe, pouring it right into your heart. And you're the fool and you're just kind of like, that feels nice. Like that feels peaceful. I feel open. I just feel real calm. I'm like ready and open to take the next step. And then bam, this comes in as like your delightful surprise, right? So the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups is I feel another card of union. And in this particular case, because I keep saying twin flames, I feel like it's the twin flame union. Like if you're on your twin flame journey, I feel like this could potentially be representing something significant coming in for you because you have healed this energy and made some space within you. But I feel that you're just doing this for you, not to get the outside thing, right? Not to try to call your twin flame in, but just to say, oh man, this energy feels bad. I deserve better than to be stuck in this energy. I'm going to heal this, right? So to me, this feels very much just about you. You're not like, I'm going to heal this so that my twin flame comes in. No, that's not the vibe of this collective at all. And I do feel like this is a surprise. So take that for what it is, right? That's the energy of the cards. I have no control over what people do. I have no control over somebody having free will. So I'm absolutely not saying that this is your twin flame doing a certain thing or whatever. I'm just saying I really feel like this energy feels like a love surprise. It feels like two people coming together. And on a spiritual journey, right, with a spiritual romance connection, that could mean like a huge multitude of things, right? It could be somewhere energetically that you guys are kind of lining up. Maybe you have a dream about your person. Maybe you receive some sort of really significant sign, right? Like I just saw a frog. That's a sign for me, right? Like maybe a frog is a sign for you and you like drive by a truck and there's like a gigantic pair of frogs with like a heart between them or something, you know? Like I feel like it could be a sign. It could be communication from your person. It could be going on a date with them. Like who knows? I think it depends on what stage you're at in your journey. It could be like a beautiful quote that you come upon that really just opens your heart and makes you feel like so much love. But that's like the vibe of these cards, right? So it's not predicting an action, but I'm feeling that incoming feeling, that incoming energy of that like just beautiful, like delightful romance and like coming together, being together with your person. I feel that something will come in here that gives you the feeling of that energy. It's like really beautiful to have those two cards together, especially with this 1111 portal. That feels very special to me. I feel like, thank you, God, for giving me that message to channel because it's really beautiful. So we have the Six of Cups and the Magician. The Six of Cups says familiarity, and the Magician says, as above, so below. I was just drawn to the number 1 on her, so I don't know if that will resonate for anybody. I don't know why I was randomly drawn to that. The Six of Cups card is like so lovely. I feel that as very much relating to this Four of Wands and Two of Cups, and also to this childlike energy that we have with the 2 pages and the Fool. In the Six of Cups in the traditional tarot is the 2 children, and one of them is handing the other one like a little bouquet of flowers. And there's just like this complete innocent sweetness about it that's so pure and like so beautiful. And I feel like that's a lot of this energy that I'm getting from these kind of childlike figures here, as well as this just pure love in that Three of Cups card that you're going to be channeling from the universe. God, this is like a really beautiful reading. I feel like my heart is like, so it's like swelling. I feel my heart like swelling and expanding in this energy, just the pure sweetness of it and how beautiful and expansive this healing feels. Man, this is a really lovely reading. I'm like losing my words a little bit because I'm getting a little swept up in the energy. The Six of Cups, the way I feel it's relating to this is it's a feeling of nostalgia, but I'm feeling like with twin flames, right? This is the person who was created to be your ultimate lover, like across lifetimes, right? So if twin flames doesn't resonate for you, it could be your soulmate, it could be a partner, it could be like your highest level spiritual connection. in this or any of your lifetimes, right? So the Six of Cups to me would be like a romance that's coming back that maybe you've experienced in a past lifetime, or multiple past lifetimes, right? Where maybe this person has been your lover and your best friend, you know, and various iterations of that, right? Like that closeness and that intimacy, and just that love and care for each other. And that in this lifetime, it's showing up very much as a romantic connection, right? And with twin flames, like they are your lover and your best friend. So I'm feeling that very much. That feeling of familiarity where you just feel like instantly comfortable with someone. So if this would be a new energy, feeling that instant comfort, that instant love, that instant ease. If this is an older energy, it could be like reuniting with someone who you've known in the past, even someone from childhood. But just that feeling, like I said, of familiarity. And if this is like already a well-established relationship, just feeling really safe and like peaceful in that energy with each other. Yeah, really safe and really, really peaceful and innocent, and like this openness to me that feels like a breeze, like a spring breeze. And it just like the refreshingness of that, like how fresh it is and how warm it is and how nice it smells. Like that's the energy that I'm getting here. The Magician, I feel like, is just wrapping this up. That like, if you look at her, she kind of has like the power in her hands, right? Like that's you being very, very empowered here and very able to kind of direct yourself and direct your energy right to this kind of upset, this hot, upset, clashy, conflicting, self-sabotaging energy. Like, you don't need to have that in your consciousness. It's going to feel so good when you heal that. And I really feel that this Eight of Wands kind of piercing right into it. So I feel like there's help coming from the universe here. I wonder if it would even resonate for you to say like a prayer. Like, God, help me to identify where this upset is in my consciousness. I choose to heal this with you, and release it for this 1111 portal. That's how I would say that. And I just did. So this reading is for me. I would like to heal this and release it, because everything, this freshness, this expansiveness, and this peace that wants to come in feels so good. Like I'm vibing on these cards a lot right now. I feel like this is another one where I just want to stay at the table. But the point that I was trying to make with the Magician before I got distracted, is that you have the ability to call in this healing, like with your willpower, right? It's just all about your choice. So if you are saying, yes, God, show me where this is, I choose to heal this, I feel that the universe will guide you to that healing with these Eight of Wands literally right into the target, right? And you're like, oh, okay, that's the target. It will be like very obvious, I feel, whatever this is, because those wands are piercing right into it. You're not going to miss it. Wow. That's a cool reading. I'm very surprised about this. Again, I feel like if you're in this collective, you are 1,000,000% minding your business and just healing this for yourself. I'm looking for my twin flame cards. Sorry, I'm distracted. You're healing this just for yourself. I really feel, I keep hearing, I'm just minding my business. I'm just minding my business. So there's no secret agenda here of like, oh, I'm going to heal because then I think my twin flame will call me or whatever. Like, I'm not feeling that at all. Whoever's in this collective is just doing this healing genuinely, like from the bottom of their heart. Their intention here is just to heal this because they know that they deserve that healing. They deserve that peace. And they deserve to be this fool afterwards, kind of breathing a sigh of relief and being like, oh, like that energy's out of my consciousness now, right? And that's when the universe goes, surprise, because you've poured all of this beautiful love and light and forgiveness and releasing and spaciousness, like all over this energy, right? And now it's out of your consciousness. You're all full of like this juicy, beautiful love light. So in terms of just like the laws of manifestation, you're full of light and love. And the only choice that the universe has is to respond to your vibration with equal light and love. And I feel like that's what this Four of Wands, Two of Cups, and Six of Cups energy is. And even this Page of Wands, right, sparking up like that passion and kind of igniting like your inner light. It really feels like that, especially with that light in her heart chakra. Really just igniting your inner light. This is beautiful. This portal energy is very supportive of some really like incredible healing for you. And I feel like I said, it's a big healing, but I'm not feeling like it's a difficult healing. I really am still feeling that you're going to get clarity with that target and those Eight of Wands. You're going to look at that target with the 8 wands sticking out of it and being like, man, that pattern sucks. Man, I don't like that I'm doing that behavior. I'm going to release that now. I'm going to choose to heal that now. And that's it. I feel like that's really it. I feel like this could be a 10-minute moment of clarity. You lay down, you give yourself a bunch of love in your heart, and like then this pattern's just gone into the ethers of the universe like forever. So it's a huge healing, but it's not a difficult healing. It might be hard to feel these feelings, right? That this energy feels very conflicting and clashy for me. There's definitely like some anger and some sadness and like some, gosh, I don't know how else to describe that. Kind of some chaos. There's like some chaos to this energy. So actually going into those feelings, yeah, that might be a little tender and a little difficult. And you might, yell into your pillow or punch your pillow or, cry some tears and just sob your heart out for 5 minutes. I can feel that. There's definitely some emotions in there that need to move out of you, right? But whatever resonates, like I said, scream in your pillow, punch your pillow, cry, like journal about it, right? Rip up some paper, like whatever kind of makes you feel that cathartic feeling of like releasing the emotions. I feel like that's really good. And when I say rip up paper, that's not important. Like maybe find some blank paper, or even if you write down the upset and then rip up that, right? So not being destructive, but maybe just finding like a safe physical way to release that energy. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm really feeling that. I'm literally visualizing like my viewer doing those things and how cathartic it is to like release that. Yeah, it feels really good. This is awesome. So yeah, I say that it's easy. I don't mean that it won't hurt. But I think, it's gonna be so worth it to just feel those feelings, right? Even just for a few minutes, just feel them and let them flow, right? Instead of holding on to them, which is just creating this like vibrating hot chaos. You don't want to hang on to that. That energy feels real bad. So let's see if we have any angel number cards. For our 1111 portal reading, I'm going to take this guy. It's like sticking way out. We have 1313, starting fresh. Encouragement, goals, foundations, creative ventures, communication. Step out of your comfort zone. You are about to create something meaningful. All your skills and talents will bring you auspicious profits. Build up your confidence and trust in your decisions. When it says creative ventures, that's interesting. That's making me think of that open-minded energy, that childlike energy that we were having. So it's the Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Fool, and the Six of Cups that are all giving me that kind of childlike vibe. And stepping out of your comfort zone, yeah, like big time. I feel like this is, I don't know, even being a person who's on like a very deliberate spiritual journey myself, sometimes it's hard for me to dive into these places that feel bad. I definitely still kind of grapple or I find places within myself that I can surrender more, right? To going into those upset feelings. It feels bad, right? Like nobody wants to go into the places that feel bad, but the thing is when we do go into them and release them, that's when we get that huge relief and that big healing, and it's so worth it. So I feel like stepping out of your comfort zone in this case is really important, and maybe realizing that, like I was saying about the Fool card, the universe has your back. So as you're kind of going into this place, knowing that you're safe, right? And doing what you need to do to help yourself feel safe to go into those sad feelings. So like for me, like I have a couple of stuffed animals. It feels kind of silly, but from when I was a child, and like if I feel really sad and I'm healing something like this, sometimes I'll just like cuddle one of my stuffed animals, and it makes my inner child feel like really comforted. So maybe for you, it's like being with one of your animals, or I don't know, having like a cup of tea with you while you're kind of like sitting at the table crying about this feeling, right? Whatever helps you feel like really comforted and safe, I feel would be sweet for you. This is interesting. It says all your skills and talents will bring you auspicious profits. I feel like that's bouncing off this 10 of Coins card. So I feel like not only is there this like connection, kind of love energy coming in, but I'm still going back to this as like a life purpose piece where it's really making me feel like there might be something coming in, maybe not for everyone, but at least for someone or some of you, around like a life purpose piece, which feels really nice. So we have 1818 willpower, achievements, success, striving forward, prosperity, go-getters, courage, luck. Wow, significant events are on the cards for you. You will progress in your endeavors and gain new experiences. The right people and resources will be put on your path. An excellent proposal or change is coming up. You're destined for greatness. That's awesome. I feel like that willpower is sort of like that bravery, that grit. I literally just saw in my mind's eye the word grit written across the top of here. So I feel like that's important if that kind of helps you to hold on to that word, that grit, right? That resilience, that determination to go into this feeling, whatever this is, when you get clear on that, again, that like self-sabotaging feeling, that feeling where you're leaving yourself out in the cold and you're kind of fighting within yourself, and there's some feeling of like betrayal and heartache. Having the grit to go into that and bring that love there, right? That bravery to do that. I feel the rest of this saying significant events and an excellent proposal or changes coming up. Like this is literally like cards of marriage and people coming together. So for somebody, this could literally be a proposal, and like, please take that as it resonates, right? I'm not saying that I can predict what somebody's going to do, but that's definitely a possibility within the energy of these cards. It's very beautiful. I'm even noticing like the gemstone glow of these cards, like reminds me of my ring. And just any precious gemstones, right? Sapphires, rubies, emeralds, diamonds, like I'm feeling this sort of gemstone-y quality here. It's really beautiful. It's awesome. I feel like whether you are divine masculine or divine feminine, like you are an empress or an emperor, and you deserve to be like adorned with this gemmy light. I just feel that in you. Like it's precious, and it glows with that, like the light of gemstones. I don't know why that's resonating for me, but it is. I feel like I'm just reading that in your energy. It's beautiful. You're precious and you're valuable. I'm kind of wondering if maybe this healing also helps you expand in your like recognition of yourself as a very valuable being, helping you see that like you are precious, right? So we have 10-10 High Priestess, 4-4 Transformation, 9-9 Open Your Heart, and 7-7 Rebirth. That's beautiful. So expanding consciousness, battle of your head versus your heart, set loving boundaries, and personal freedom unleashed. The battle of the head versus the heart is actually resonating a lot off of this energy for me, especially this Five of Wands, where I'm describing that as being kind of like clashy or clangy energy. So this could be a place where like your ego, I just looked at the time and it's 44:44. I don't know if that will be significant for anyone, but it's funny that I'm talking about the 4/4 card as I just said that. That's neat. Sorry, that was very distracting. So the battle of the head versus the heart and this Five of Wands for me can sometimes be like an ego clashing energy. So that feeling, like I was saying, of betrayal, heartache, leaving yourself out in the cold, it could just be that ego clashing against like who you truly are, right? So ego telling you that you're like no good, that you're not worthy, that you messed up, that it's, you're worthless, that you'll never heal, anything like that, right? It's just not true. And kind of maybe feeling like your heart has been a little bit like beaten down by that negativity, by that sort of sabotaging, right, of ego, and being able to take your power back from that. High Priestess, I don't think that we had her in this reading, right? Yeah, she's not here on the table. She was in the table on my weekly reading, so that's interesting. I was very much reading her as the divine feminine and like a spiritual connection. But I feel like this is you. Again, whether you're the masculine or you're the feminine, it's irrelevant. It's just the gender on the cards, but it's just energy. But expanding your consciousness, yes, it's being able to take this wound, right? And releasing it from your consciousness through healing with this love and being able to expand your consciousness with more room for peace and love. It's so beautiful. Setting loving boundaries. I love that. I feel like maybe that might be setting some boundaries against this energy, especially if that's resonating to you where it's like a lot of negative self-talk type thing that's kind of beating you down a little bit. Being able to say like, man, I deserve better than that, right? I would never let a friend talk to me that way. So how could I let my own self talk to me that way, right? Like if you wouldn't say to another person, you're worthless, probably it's not a great idea to be saying it to yourself either, right? And please don't say things like that to others. That's very unkind. So hopefully you're not doing that. I don't feel that you are, but just that sort of struck me as a little bit funny. But yeah, like sometimes we're our own worst critics, right? So being able to set some boundaries with that. Personal freedom unleashed. I love that. And this rebirth energy feels very much to me like I was saying about this childlike energy, and the openness of that, right? The clarity and like the expansion and the open-mindedness and that exploring feeling feels to me like that. It feels like that freedom. And it feels like being reborn kind of into your own innocence. That's very beautiful. Wow, this is an awesome reading. I really hope that this was helpful. I feel like the energy of this 1111 portal, it wants to help you with some really powerful transformation here. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment if you wish, as all of those things help me as I'm growing my channel. Happy healing to you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.